Some praise.
Yes, hallelujah.
And if it seems evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose ye this day whom you'll serve.
Yes.
As we take a look back into history through the eyes of Joshua heard from the Lord and said, my servant Moses is dead, but don't worry, I'll be with you. Because the Lord would tell them in the day's terms, I got you.
All right.
And he would lead his people out of the promise into the promised land. And he told Joshua to take the book of law that Moses had given him to make sure that he kept the word on his lips, so that he would make sure that he would keep the word in his heart, so that he wouldn't sin against him, but he would always be able to keep the word close to him. So he'd make sure that he'd be able to study and show himself approved. But not only that, to make sure that he would always keep the law close to him, so he would know not to break one of the laws, to be able to instruct the people in the way that they should go. Then he makes sure that he pass along the instruction to the people. As we get into the beginning of chapter 24, Joshua had to call all the people together to give them an instruction. He called the elders. He called the judges. He called all the officers together. A family meeting, if you will. But then he had to remind them of their history with the Lord. He told them that first, he said, God got Abraham and he made him a father of many nations. But then he made sure that he brought him from the other side of the flood. And then he made his seed to multiply. Then he allowed Jacob's children to go down into Egypt to make sure that they survived all the famines that was coming. But Jacob's family grew. They multiplied, but yet they were enslaved down in Egypt. Then all of a sudden, he had to send Moses and Aaron down to rescue them. But he also sent a plague down to make sure that his people came out of Egypt. But they came out mightier than they even went in. All of these things, God was reminding his children of the things that he was doing for them while they were there. But yet the Egyptians pursued them right out of Egypt, because the Egyptians couldn't stand the fact that they came out mightier than they went in. Amen. These are the things that God was turning to remind his children. But then all of a sudden, Joshua was reminding his people of the things that God had done for them. But then yet they still wanted to worship gods of their choice in the land of the people that they was inhabited by. Yeah. But then Joshua reminded them, of whom will you serve? Will you serve the gods of the Amorites in the land at which you are in? Yeah. Choose ye this day whom you will serve. As me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Glory